Chapter 98 Street Battle Ape Rat. Wind Track, Flash Steps. Zhang Xiaohou quickly attracted the attention of the colossal-eyed ape rat whose mouth was covered with blood. Using the second level of wind track, Zhang Xiaohou's figure nimbly passed through the chaotically parked cars. Whenever the colossal-eyed ape rat wanted to slice open Zhang Xiaohou's chest with his claws, he always ended up hitting the stream of air left behind by Zhang Xiaohou. "Monkey, be careful, there's another one." Mo Fan already climbed on top of the bus. With one glance, he saw the figure with fierce fur arching its body as it hid itself behind the advertisement board by the bus stop. Zhang Xiaohou was moving at high speed as a large rat with fierce teeth was tenaciously pursuing him. How could he have the time to even consider the position of the other colossal-eyed ape rat? Mo Fan had used the beast-seeking powder to find the unexpectedly sly colossal-eyed ape rat. These magical beasts had always lived in an environment where the strong ate the weak. Their methods were much more savage than the humans who had been living safely in the city. Magicians who had not truly gone through hunting beasts would also get killed like Zhang Yinglu. Even being a wind magician, she did not know that she needed to have her wind track on at all times. "Look, its neck is stretching," Joman hastily said to Mo Fan as she saw the colossal-eyed ape rat that was behind the public transportation advertisement board. As Mo Fan saw this, he began to curse to himself. Colossal-eyed ape rat's abilities were not just mere biting and scratching. Its most dreadful attack was the scarlet red beam that was shot from its eyes. That was a frightening power that was capable of penetrating a person's body. At this moment, the colossal-eyed ape rat's gaze was precisely locked onto Zhang Xiaohou. Dazzle, blind. Just when Mo Fan was getting extremely anxious, Shui Mesheng yelled out as he carried an awe-inspiring power in his voice. Suddenly, a milky white light ball emerged in front of the colossal-eyed ape rat that was stretching its neck, and emitted a bright radiance. This radiance was extremely fierce. The paint on the advertisement looked as though it was being melted by the heat of the light. The students inside the buses hastily closed their eyes, yet they were still able to feel the burn from the fierce light. The dazzling light exploded in front of the colossal-eyed ape rat. The fierce light was like the edge of swords as it entered the widened eye of the colossal-eyed ape rat. You could see the rat's cornea began to burn. Furthermore, it spread to the entire eye socket of the rat. The colossal-eyed ape rat who was ready to use its scarlet red light beam was burned blind by the light. It let out sounds of grief as it crashed into everything in its surroundings. At this time, Zhang Xiaohou finally realized there was one more colossal-eyed ape rat located by the bus stop's advertisement board. He quickly changed his position, and shook off the monster that was chasing him before returning to everyone. "Mr. Shui, thank you," Zhang Xiaohou panted. This dazzling light directly blinded a colossal-eyed ape rat that was a threat to everyone. As for the remaining rat, when they all had time to link their star paths, then this animal would no longer be able to hurt them. The first one to take action was Mo Fan. He was the one who finished his star path the fastest amongst them, and his third-level fire magic could be said as not giving the colossal-eyed ape rat any time to hide. An indignant rupturing flame grandly exploded in front of the colossal-eyed ape rat that had killed Zhang Yinglu. Beep, 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 beep. As it exploded, it instantly triggered the ear-piercing alarms of the cars. Numerous car windows were shattered beneath Mo Fan's fire burst, rupture. The colossal-eyed ape rat was sent flying into the iron roll-up door of a milk tea store from the explosion. The fur on its body was burned to a crisp, its flesh was split. You could see the shattered pieces of windows were stabbed into its flesh and muscles. Shui Mesheng turned his head around and studied the fire-hurling Mo Fan who had hurt the colossal-eyed ape rat. Pleasant astonishment flashed in his eyes. It truly deserved to be called the third level of fire burst. Its power had actually caused a magical beast to have difficulties getting back up. As long as this vanguard squad had a powerful student like Mo Fan, then they probably wouldn't get completely wiped out. That freaking animal, I will skin it. Wang Sanpeng and Zhang Xiaohou appeared exceptionally angry. Just a few minutes before, that animal had bitten their female classmate to death. In just a few more days, she would have entered the beautiful magic university. However, she ended up being killed by this kind of ugly thing. Just who would be able to suppress the anger from the depths of their heart in this kind of situation? "Don't go. It hasn't died yet." Mo Fan immediately berated them in a loud voice. Just as Wang Sanpeng was going to take revenge for Zhang Yinglu, the colossal-eyed ape rat who looked as though it was about to die suddenly jumped up, its killing incisors snapping toward Wang Sanpeng. Wang Sanpeng's complexion changed, and he subconsciously rolled to the side. The sharp incisor bit down, and bit off a bloody chunk from Wang Sanpeng's shoulder. As everyone saw this, they couldn't help but gasp. "Animal, go die!" Under the rage of Xu Zhaoting, the lightning traces swirling around his body were like a lightning whip as they lashed toward the incredibly sly colossal-eyed ape rat. Lightning strike. Mad Whip's might could be considered quite ferocious. It mutilated the colossal-eyed ape rat further, and adding in the repeated electric arcs running through its body caused it to be unable to budge. All it could do was lay on the ground and squeal in pain. Wang Sanpeng frantically crawled back to the bus. The blood flowed out from his shoulder. His face was deathly pale and filled with fear. Xu Zhaoting, Zhouman, and Zhang Shuha continued to bombard the colossal-eyed ape rat with magic, smashing it into pieces. This time, the colossal-eyed ape rat could not be any more dead. However, everyone's faces didn't have a single sign of loosening up. So this was a genuine magical beast? It only took them a second to kill people. Even a speck of carelessness would send a magician's life to the underworld. It's good that you reminded us, or else Wang Sanpeng would have ended up like Zhang Yinglu, Xu Zhaoting said to Mo Fan in shock. Shui Mesheng nodded repeatedly. Even he didn't imagine that the vanguard squad he had formed with the strongest students would have someone dying and wounded on their first encounter with a magical beast. Mo Fan, you seem to have some deep understanding of magical beasts' characters. Why don't you take command of the squad? Me and He Yu will be responsible for defense. He Yu. Saying these kind of things in this kind of situation is excessive, but you saw with your own eyes how Zhang Yinglu was killed. This is not the time to squat on the floor trembling and crying for the lives of the past ones. Either way, could you please cast your water defensive spell when the next magical beast attacks any of us, or else the remaining 9 of us may not be able to survive until the safety shelter, and the 4,000 or so people following behind us would also lose their direction from this point on. Shui Mesheng walked over to He Yu, who was so scared that her consciousness was distracted, as he spoke quietly and sincerely. I'm sorry, I really am sorry. I am unable to finish the star path. He Yu's face was filled with teardrops. She was really afraid. She was afraid that she would end up like Zhang Yinglu. Do your best. As long as you are able to cast a water barrier, then that would mean you are able to save our lives. I believe you can do it, Shui Mesheng said. Chapter 99 Safe Passage. Mo Fan glanced at He Yu, who was choking with emotions as she cried. He couldn't help but sigh. Xiaoke was also a water magician. She had also grasped the second level of water barrier. However, when facing a magical beast, He Yu was no different from a normal girl, and was unable to cast a spell. If the other people within the squad were like that, then there would be more people dying the next time they met magical beasts. At the moment, Mo Fan didn't know just how many would lose their lives. He could only force himself to advance along this road. Since Mr. Shui wants me to lead this squad, then I hope everyone will keep in mind what I said. We may not smoothly arrive at the safety shelters, but at the very least, we will be able to prevent unnecessary deaths. Mo Fan looked as though he had lost his spirit as he spoke to the vanguard squad. This vanguard squad had viewed the magical beasts as being too simple. The one in the practicals was just practice. Before the spirit wolf had gone berserk, it did not have any intention of killing the students. Genuine magical beasts were definitely not like this. They would use any and all methods to kill humans. Even if they knew that they would die, they would still use their last remaining strength to drag one more down with them. Magical beasts lived in an environment where they killed each other. They understood very well the techniques to kill others. The primary magical beasts which we will be facing are of 2 kinds, colossal-eyed ape rats and one-eyed magic wolves. Colossal-eyed ape rats can be considered easier to deal with. The scary ones are one-eyed magic wolves. Their cruelty and slyness are way above that of colossal-eyed ape rats. If we happen to encounter 3 or more one-eyed magic wolves, then don't hesitate, split up and escape by yourselves. If luck is on our side, then only 3 of us will die. If we don't run, then everyone will die, Mo Fan said resolutely and decisively. The truth is, if 2 one-eyed magic wolves appeared at the same time, that would be enough to bring a life-threatening blow to this vanguard squad. Currently, Mo Fan only wished to let his classmates understand that the dread of magical beasts was thousands of times scarier than what was described in the classes. This is no longer a practice, nor is this a practical. This is a battle that involves life and death. If you win, you'll live. If you lose, you'll die. Xu Jiaoting, Wang Sanpang, Zhoumen, Mu Bai, Zhao Kunsen, Zhang Xiaohou, He Yu, Zhang Shuha, and Shui Misheng were all looking at Mo Fan attentively. The reminder Mo Fan had given them was to allow everyone to avoid casualties their first time. While they were attentively listening to him, they were also thinking to themselves, why is Mo Fan, a third-year high school student just like them, so much sharper than everyone else? Mo Fan told everyone the easier mistakes that could be made, just like the foolish action by Wang Sanpang. You should not approach any magical beast that looks like it is dead. It will use its last remaining strength to drag you down with it. Monkey, you're responsible for finding the path. Execute this cautiously, Mo Fan warned Zhang Xiaohou. Zhang Xiaohou nodded repeatedly. He would listen to everything Mo Fan said. Mu Bai, prepare your ice spread at all times. Remember that your ice spread is currently used to protect everyone. Don't count on freezing the faster magical beasts, Mo Fan said to Mu Bai. Mu Bai creased his brow. He wanted to say something, but he ended up swallowing those words back down. He had a huge prejudice against Mo Fan. However, compared to the lives of everyone, including his own, this kind of prejudice was indeed very insignificant. He nodded his head to show he understood how he should be using ice spread. After Mo Fan quickly explained things to everyone, he couldn't help but take a deep breath. In fact, he himself did not know whether they would be able to safely pass through this 3-kilometer-long road of death. He just hoped everyone's luck would be good and they would not encounter 3 one-eyed magic wolves at the same time. The squad continued to advance. They encountered no other magical beasts along this 1-kilometer-long main street. However, they did find a few old people who were unable to retreat to the safety shelters in time within the residential buildings. The vanguard squad was unable to escort any civilians. Shui Misheng could only tell these old people to follow the main group after they got here, or else they would really be in danger. Practically every road was blocked. Occasionally, they'd see some people who made a vain attempt to drive their cars to the safety shelters. In the end, they had to abandon their car along the blocked roads and switch to walking. Seeing the people on the road, Shui Misheng and Zhoumen would tell them to first find a place to hide and wait for the main group. After traversing the main street, they quickly arrived at the Mingyuan district. The Mingyuan district could be considered relatively higher end in Bo City, having buildings with elevators. The entire district was decorated like a small park in the city. The space it occupied was quite large. Passing through all 4 of the A, B, C, and D districts of Mingyuan district would be nearly a kilometer of distance. No one knew how many people there were who hadn't retreated yet in the large number of buildings. They believed being in these tall buildings would keep them safe. The fences around the Mingyuan district were useless. Mo Fan could see a few of them broken down already. This meant there were definitely a few magical beasts inside this relatively large area. After passing through the back door of this area, a pond entered everyone's eyes. A security guard's body was floating there, and the water in the pond had also turned crimson red. The heavy rain had started to slow. This meant the bloodstains in this city were increasingly harder to clean. Seeing these bloodstains everywhere, the vanguard squad all got goosebumps passing through this place. Do you hear that? There's something yelling in this building, Zhoumen whispered to Mo Fan. Mo Fan walked toward one of the buildings. Through the glass, he was able to vaguely see a shadow that did not belong to a human pass by the window of the building. Let's hurry up and move forwards. Mo Fan did not investigate further. Zhoumen nodded her head, no longer daring to say anything else. As they walked a few steps forward, their pathfinder, Zhang Xiaohou, who was searching for a way forwards, returned in haste. There are more than 5 colossal-eyed ape rats ahead. We must go around, Zhang Xiaohou told them. All right, let's use the other road, Mo Fan agreed as he patted Zhang Xiaohou's shoulders to show he did a good job. Zhang Xiaohou could only force a smile. If he did not force himself to grow in this kind of environment, then he would only become a burden for the squad. Zhang Xiaohou himself was also prone to panic. However, seeing Mo Fan still able to give a cool-headed response, he subconsciously felt a bit more brave. After going around the 5 rats, they had passed through half of the district. The entire process could be considered threatening, but not dangerous. There's a colossal-eyed ape rat drinking by the swimming pool. We'll go around it. Why? We can clearly kill it and then directly pass by this place. Zhang Shuha was puzzled. Don't fight insignificant battles. Currently, our mana is more precious than water in a desert. The 9 of them safely passed through Mingyuan district. Considering that there was a large group following behind them, Mo Fan also chose a route that was relatively spacious and sensible, or they'd be congested and would attract an attack from a group of magical beasts, which would be dangerous.